as you continue to rise or take on new challenges, or more importantly, as this book so perfectly encapsulates, the landscape has changed, right? The amount of diversity in the workforce has changed. The demands of the generations, beneath are changing, and the old style of leadership just doesn't work. And you make a great point in the introduction. I think this was even about you. So I'd love to hear about you and your origin story. Speaking of getting connected with yourself, I didn't have to be perfect. What I had to be was me. I mean, gut punch. Was that a
Yeah.
moment you had? Tell us how you came to those
Yeah,
two.
I had to. Thankfully, I had a really good dean in the College of Business who, when my teaching evaluations first started coming back in the MBA classroom, they weren't. I needed to have above average faculty evaluations, and they weren't. And he hired me. He knew I could do it. He had seen. He said, "There's a disconnection.
Mm,
Something's not working in the classroom with students, and I don't really know why, but I will invest in you, go to every conference you can go to." So what I did is I assembled a team of mentors, and I chose the men who I looked up to. They were all men. So this is my choosing, that I looked up to, who got Faculty Member of the Year award. They were rock stars. I thought they just knew everything about everything. And so they would tell me their strategies, and they were military drill sergeants, and they would go into the classroom for 3 hours with a piece of chalk. They would lock people out. They would yell at you if you were late. If the class ended at 9, they lectured until 10, slight exaggeration, but not much.
not
And
much.
that to them, and they were idolized, right? And so I ended up trying to be somebody that innately I never could be that. It wasn't me. It didn't play to my strengths, but I just wanted to be what I thought perfect was, the quintessential professor. So I really struggled for years. And then I finally realized, gosh, I can't be anybody but me. And I'd been told that I was so maybe, too much, too enthusiastic, too positive, too happy. And so I had all these messages. My scripts were like all of those things that I now recognize, Zach, that are strengths. I had the script inside my head that they were too much.
Right.
So it just was a huge risk for me to say, you know what, I'm going to go in as this. I was only 28 years old, as this young female in the MBA classroom, and be me when I didn't see me. That was just a huge risk. But yeah, that was a big part of my journey. I had to just figure out how to be me.
Yeah. And so many people, I think, do, right? I remember, I think we did this in a university class. We actually looked at covers of magazines for what is success. And it was so typical and cliche of I don't even have to describe it. Everyone knows what is on the cover, right? Suit and tie, 10 years ago, typically white, gray hair. Like, you just know who this man was that was success. A very GE, right? We still praise many of those things. I know I've been in organizations where we talk about stack ranking and the curve and the rate, the performance, and how we get the very best. And you top the bottom. Like, there was this thing. And again, but I think it's similar to the young woman you were talking about. At the time and place, that method worked.
Mm-hmm.
Right? For right or wrong, and we've all got various stories of people who may have been part of that environment, but that tides have shifted.